is to stand up and talk for my rights. I know what that is. See? And I don't care who the guy is. Because my right is my right.
Get up, stand up for your right.
Ask the Lawyer with Brian Figeroux, founder and senior partner at the law firm of Figeroux and Associates. Mr. Figeroux opened his private practice in downtown Brooklyn in 1996. He specializes in personal injury, immigration, matrimonial law, bankruptcy, and wills and estate planning, with a strong emphasis on litigation matters. Ask the Lawyer features Brian's legal advice as he answers the listeners' questions and shares his insights in achieving your goals and objectives. Every week, Ask the Lawyer also features interviews and guests related to Mr. Figeroux's interests outside the law. Guests and topics include health and wellness, the civil rights war, music production, writers, as well as international and local political and religious leaders. Wide-ranging, fun, informative radio. That's Ask the Lawyer with Brian Figeroux. Ask the Lawyer any question you like via email at bfigeroux@msn.com. That is bfigeroux@msn.com for legal advice regarding specific situations. Appointments at the office will be made when you call 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Please note that submitting questions do not create an attorney-client relationship.
Yes, this is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got the answers. Whatever your legal issue or concern, call us right now for a free, no obligation legal consultation. The number to call, the number to share, and the number to keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Or you can visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. And you can call us on issues of personal injury, accidents, medical malpractice, divorce, separation, child custody, support, wills and probate, estate planning, real estate, bankruptcy, immigration, civil rights, criminal defense, and so much more. Mr. Figeroux, as a lawyer, can you understand and share the feelings of another? Are you empathetic?
Good day. My name is Brian Figeroux of Figeroux and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. And when we say so, we mean so. For almost a quarter century, Figeroux and Associates have operated downtown Brooklyn at 26 Court Street. And we have given thousands of consultations. 90% of them are probably free. And those consultations could last a couple minutes to over an hour. Those free consultations. Whenever I meet with a client, I have to listen to the facts, come up with my analysis, and because I have such an experience of a quarter century here at Court Street dealing with all these legal issues, sometimes people are talking and I know what they're going to say and I know what the solution is. Why? That's called experience. And you listen to the client, you get the facts, and you obviously, represent those people in their quest for justice, for a green card, for a divorce, for a bankruptcy, for a foreclosure, for a loan modification, a criminal issue. Yes. And you listen and you listen. And sometimes clients may not always tell you the truth, but you need to understand all the facts in order to represent people properly. So, you get those odd clients that, they are hunting for information, but they are getting a second opinion, third opinion. That's fine. You get clients who call and they want to dictate the facts, which is not always the truth, and they want to dictate your legal strategy, which obviously as an attorney, as a professional, your client will make decisions, but facts are important. Not fake news. Not like KKK Russian Trump, who distorts facts. So, as an attorney, you're not making a judgment, you're analyzing, and you're determining also whether or not this person can afford your legal services. Can they afford the retainer, how much money it takes to start a process? And a retainer doesn't mean that's the final fee. A retainer means that when that retainer is exhausted, there may be further legal fees. Unless it's a transactional based issue where you charge a particular fee based on past experience and you say to the client, this is what the fee is going to be, without any, surprises, you will try to cap those fees at that particular rate. So, building a relationship with an attorney and understanding the process is important. So people come to the office, they retain the office, they have guidance as to, how they could interact with the attorneys and the paralegals. And we have a very comprehensive immigration and other legal areas website. So a lot of times we encourage them to actually go to our website for Figeroux and Associates at www.falaw.us. So you could read about matrimonial issues, you could read about civil rights issues, you could read about personal injury issues. And we believe at Figeroux and Associates that we want our client to understand more so than other attorneys may want. A lot of clients come to the office and they share their experience with other law firms and they say, oh, they do not explain, or they didn't have a contract. But more importantly, one of the things that we hear consistently is that the attorney did not listen, or the attorney treated them like fools. Because our practice deals with a lot of people from other countries, those people have what we call quote-unquote accents. It could be for Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, Eastern Europe. But Americans seem to think that the only language in the world is American English. So sometimes you interact with attorneys who only understand American English and never really are listening because they don't have the ability to listen. They hear an accent and they cannot understand you. And they are embarrassed to tell you, repeat what you just said, or can you clarify what you just said, or speak slower so I could understand what you just said. So these are some of the problems that we have when our clients, our countrymen, so to speak, retain the services of various professionals in the U.S., not only lawyers. So sometimes they don't even know what you said because they didn't hear you. And sometimes the words silent and listen, words that if you change the letters, you come up with the same word, silent and listening. When you rearrange those words, you have to be silent in order to listen. And some people actually do not listen. Clients sometimes do not listen because they're not silent. Or clients have a previous experience where other professionals didn't listen to them and their problems are perpetuated over and over and over. Why? Because all the facts couldn't be obviously attained from the client if the attorney wasn't listening and making notes wherever necessary. So a lawyer is like a doctor. A lawyer diagnoses. He will diagnose your problem, and in order to diagnose your issue, your questions, he has to listen and come up with the proper solutions. Doctors listen to their patients, and hopefully they would not misdiagnose you. They have to give you the right medicines, they have to perform the right operation, and that's how doctors operate, similar to lawyers. So diagnosing is a very important issue. And when you come up with solutions for your client, unfortunately, the clients may not like the solution. Why? Because they cannot attain their goal. So you have to be honest with your client. You have two marijuana charges, you cannot become a citizen. You have 2 marijuana charges, you cannot get a green card. And how can you get rid of one of those charges? So what is the step 1 in the process if you want to help someone get a green card? And one of the facts that they give you is that they have 2 simple marijuana possession charges for less than 30 grams. And when you have 2 of them, you are inadmissible. So how do we remove one of those charges? Is that client eligible for post-conviction relief? Is that client eligible for a pardon in New York State? And in New York State, the governor rarely gives more than 3 pardons annually. So imagine a criminal justice system that targets black and brown people, stop and frisk, especially under the Bloomberg and Giuliani administration, the number of people that are inadmissible because the NYPD was allowed to do illegal searches, constitutional illegal searches. So how do you help this person? What happens is that these same clients, you at the consultation as an attorney, you're diagnosing. You say, okay, you have 2 arrests, get me the certificate of disposition for each arrest. Why? Because you want to ensure that what the clients say is actually legally correct. So then you review those dispositions. And then, obviously, what you're doing is confirming what you said through your preliminary diagnosis. But do all lawyers diagnose the same way? Do all doctors diagnose the same way? Do all auto mechanics diagnose the same way? And you know every one of us have problems with those auto mechanics, you understand? They tell you all kind of things. You have to change this, do this. And when you get a bill for parts, they never even bought the part, or they bought an inferior part. Or they charge you for labor that they never even use on your car or your van, your SUV, whatever. So when you meet with the lawyer and you are being diagnosed by that lawyer who is collecting facts, if the attorney doesn't understand the law, there's a big problem. Because how can one diagnose listening to the facts and then applying the law? The other, what if the lawyer did diagnose correctly, but instead of telling you that you're inadmissible, they still submitted applications on your behalf? And then eventually, when you went to your adjustment of status hearing, your application was denied. What happened there? Were they honest with you with their diagnosis? Or did they just misdiagnose? Or what type of attorney are they? So understanding the experience of the attorney, the organizations that those attorneys are members of, is important. Some of us are intimidated. You know, we run around the place saying Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter, Women Lives Matter. But if we interact with people of the opposite race, we do not ask questions. We do not try to verify our diagnosis by taking second and third consultations. And we are more trustworthy. Why are we trustworthy of people who are different from us? That's another topic. But it is one of the major problems that we have as a people when we try to get any type of assistance, whether it be legal, medical, purchasing a home, selling a home. We are always victims of ignorance. And ignorance means stupidity, that we do not approach our issues intelligently. So when people say, oh, Mr. Figeroux, your website, your legal website has so much information. Why do you have so much information that people wouldn't need you? I said, no. We put information there, as much information as possible on our website, so that people could read, understand, and it gives them ideas of things that they should say to the lawyer that they may not say. So sometimes you have to drag facts out to the clients. And sometimes the client says, why are you asking me this? Why are you asking me that? Well, we are diagnosing as lawyers. And in order to diagnose your problem and come up with a solution, we have to ask questions. So, for example, when we work with people with immigration issues, those clients who had other attorneys or did petitions on their own, whether it be a year ago or 20 years ago, and they're still not in status or they have rejected applications, we do a Freedom of Information Act request to get a copy of all files with immigration so that we could review what has been submitted, talk to the client, have them review that information, because sometimes they don't even know some of the documents that immigration have. So, for example, all those people who are victims of this VAWA fraud with Ali Louison, the gentleman on Lennox Road, those people you normally do. Step one for any attorney that is competent is to do a Freedom of Information Act request. And people will say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. Oh, that's not my signature. People say a lot of things that obviously they are surprised because they have been hoodwinked, so to speak. But the consequences are dire. Whether it be immigration of the past or the immigration of the present by KKK, Russia, and Trump, it's severe. And, you know, one of the things over the years is that when you meet clients and you review the Freedom of Information Act request for them, or you tell them about mistakes that other professionals made, or mistakes that they made, people come to tears. So empathy, you have to be empathetic towards your client's disasters in life, whether it be immigration, matrimonial, criminal, real estate transactions, wills and estate issues, bankruptcy issues. You know, you have to say, look, you know, people make mistakes, and as a professional, you're trying to correct those mistakes. You're trying to put people on the right path. That's what the law firm of Figeroux and Associate does. So whether it be a couple of minutes or whether it be more than an hour, whatever time is necessary, we spend on those consultations. And obviously, the person conducting the consultation is the lawyer, not the client. Because sometimes people just want to talk. Yes, you could talk, but I am in charge. I will direct the consultation. I will drag certain things out of you that is relevant to that issue. Then, obviously, you could make your comments after I give you the freedom to express yourself even more. It's a process. It's a process that any attorney, any professional that you interact with should work with you in that particular manner. It's a diagnosis. You're listening to the facts, whether it be your lawyer, your doctor, your real estate agent. They have to be able to, listen. This is the process. Like some people say, I want to buy a home. Well, what's your income? You could only borrow 5 times your income, or that of yours and your spouse, or you or your co-signers. And people want to buy $1 million property, and all they make is $100,000. So if you go by that simple formula, 5 times your income, well, what is 5 times 100,000? $500,000. Can you buy a property for $1 million? Yeah, if you have another $500,000 to pay down on the property. Yes, if you have co-signers that could sign and their income is taken into consideration. So, again, what are you gathering? Facts. So you know what your client's goal is. You have to collect the facts. And if those facts conflict with the attainment of that goal, you have to let the client know. People get aggravated. They say, I don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why you could have a second and third consultation. So if you think that you know a smarter person than the attorney that could give you different conclusion, that's fine. That's how life operates. That's how business operates. But if you want to come up with solutions, that means that you're breaking the law or you're doing fraud or whatever, that's another issue. You cannot go to anybody's office and dictate that they don't follow the rules. Again, you will hear what the rules are, you're going to hear what the lawyers, the facts, whatever, and then you are given a path to legalization, a path to home ownership, a path to bankruptcy, whether Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, a path to proper wills and estate planning. That's what you get when you work with Figeroux & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. For free consultation, the number to call is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. To schedule a consultation at our landing page, Ask the Lawyer. Yes, you got questions, we got answers. You could go there and schedule one by going to www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. If you would like to visit our legal website, Figeroux & Associates, so that you could read about the various areas, legal areas that we represent people in, so that you could get more context, you could get more information about various areas of practices that we practice in, so that you could understand things better and explain yourself better. You could visit Figeroux & Associates website at www.falaw.us. Again, www.falaw.us. If you want to refer other people, you could do so in those 3 different ways. If you have family overseas and they would like to immigrate to the U.S., you could give them the same information. They could go online. They could send us emails. Yes. And we get emails from all over the world. Again, my name is Brian Figeroux of Figeroux & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. Empathy doesn't mean that you are stupid. Some people believe that because the law firm practices empathy, that we are empathetic, that, we could be hoodwinked. That's the furthest from the truth. Empathy doesn't mean stupidity. To me and my staff, empathy means love. Thank you.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a free consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our free paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, ask the lawyer. You have questions, we've got answers. For a free consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.